Have you ever wondered what goes on after everyone else has gone home? When the lights go out, and the only sound is the hum of the air conditioning and your own footsteps echoing in the dark? Security guards see it all. They're the silent sentinels of our empty offices, abandoned malls, and deserted hospitals. Tonight, we're pulling back the curtain on the things they wish they could forget. These are 3 allegedly true stories from security guards who came face to face with the unexplained. So, lock your doors, turn down the lights, and get ready. Our first story comes from a guard named Mark, who worked the graveyard shift at an old, sprawling hospital that was partially shut down. One wing, the original structure from the early 1900s, was used only for storage. It was his job to walk through it once a night, a task he absolutely dreaded. The air was always heavy and cold, no matter the season. One night, while doing his rounds, he heard something from the far end of the hall. It sounded like a metal tray clattering to the floor. His heart started pounding. He called out, "Hello, security!" But only silence answered. He cautiously made his way down the long, dark corridor, his flashlight beam cutting through the oppressive blackness. The sound had come from one of the old operating theaters. The door was slightly ajar. He pushed it open, sweeping his light across the room. It was empty, coated in a thick layer of dust, except for one thing. In the center of the room, on the floor, was a single, gleaming surgical scalpel. It wasn't dusty like everything else. It looked ... new. As he stared at it, a sudden, icy gust of wind slammed the heavy door shut, plunging him into total darkness. He fumbled for the handle, his breath catching in his throat. When he finally wrenched it open and stumbled back into the hall, he could hear the faint, chilling sound of a child humming a nursery rhyme, seemingly coming from the room he had just escaped. He never went back into that wing alone again. Next, we head to a modern, high-tech office building. Sarah was a security guard there, and her job was mostly just monitoring a bank of CCTV screens. For months, it was the most boring job she'd ever had. That changed one Tuesday night. Around 3 a.m., the motion sensor for the 14th floor pinged. This was odd, as the entire floor belonged to a law firm that was famously empty after 6 p.m. She switched her main monitor to the camera in the 14th floor lobby. The image was still. No one was there. Thinking it was just a glitch, she was about to switch back when she saw it. In the reflection on the polished marble floor, she could see the distorted shape of a tall man standing near the reception desk, but when she looked at the desk itself, there was nothing there. Her blood ran cold. She zoomed in on the reflection. It was unmistakably a figure, a dark, motionless silhouette. She frantically cycled through every camera on the floor. All empty. But every single camera that showed a reflective surface, a window, a polished floor, a glass partition showed the same silent figure, always just out of direct sight, watching. For the rest of her shift, she watched as the reflection moved from room to room, a ghostly observer in an empty office. When the first employees arrived in the morning, the reflections were finally clear. Sarah quit the next day. Our final story is perhaps the most unsettling. It comes from a former guard, David, who was assigned to a remote storage facility in the middle of nowhere. The site consisted of rows upon rows of identical metal storage units. His job was simple: drive the perimeter, check the locks, and make sure no one was trying to break in. One night a thick fog rolled in, reducing visibility to almost zero. As he was doing his rounds, his truck's headlights caught something. A person was standing in the middle of the lane between 2 rows of units, their back to him. David stopped the truck and got on the loudspeaker. "Sir, the facility is closed. You need to leave the premises immediately. The figure didn't move. He repeated the warning, more forcefully this time. Nothing. Annoyed and a little creeped out, he got out of his truck, grabbing his heavy-duty flashlight. As he got closer, he noticed the person's clothes were old-fashioned and tattered. "Hey, I'm talking to you," he yelled. The figure slowly, very slowly, began to turn around. David aimed his flashlight at its face, and what he saw made him freeze in terror. It had no face, where the eyes, nose, and mouth should have been. There was only smooth, blank skin, like a mannequin. Before he could even scream, it opened a mouth that was there and let out a sound that was unhuman, a high-pitched shriek that vibrated through his entire body. He sprinted back to his truck, jumped in, and sped away, not daring to look back. He radioed his supervisor, quit on the spot, and never returned. From the echoing halls of an abandoned hospital to the sterile corridors of a modern office and the foggy lanes of a desolate storage yard, these stories remind us that sometimes the most terrifying things are the ones we can't explain. The world is full of mysteries, and security guards are often the unwilling audience to its darkest performances. What do you think? Could you handle a night shift in one of these places? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching and sharing this journey into the unknown with me. If you enjoyed these stories and want to hear more tales from the dark side, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to ring the notification bell so you won't miss our next video. Stay safe out there and always check the reflections.